It's Mock Draft Mondays, and I am here to give you my own mock draft. What's crack-a-lackin'? It is your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you appreciate the content. And as always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. We're going to be experimenting with a few different maybe possibilities in this mock draft. But check that out. Check that out. Yeah, I'm going to switch to full cam view real quick. Got the all bro hoodie. You can get that on broshmoshop.com. The link is in the description. I will have a holiday promo code so you get stuff for 25% off. Eventually I'll have that up, but we're using PFF's draft simulator since I could kind of like mess with the draft order. This is the current draft order via the tankathon.com, and this is not including the Monday night game. Let's go ahead and get into this sucker. I've been saying for the last few weeks since Aiden Hutchinson had that banger performance against Ohio State that currently I feel like it is a coin flip between. Hold on, I'm trying to change my light real quick. I'm trying to, okay, not turn it off, but turn it down. Oh, no, that's turning it higher. I don't know how to use my own stuff. Who would have thought? But I've been saying that it's been a coin flip between Hutch and KD. So with this, we've been going to Hutch the past few weeks. Let's go ahead with KT. He is going to the Detroit Lions. And one of my subscribers said that Hutch doesn't want to play in Detroit. Again, coin flip could very well go to Hutch. We're going to do it differently this time around, which means the Jaguars, they're the number 2 overall pick. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take the best player on the board. We're going to get some pass rush for that defense. Hopefully, Urban Meyer ain't there no more. Maybe the offense will look good, but we're going Aiden Hutchinson. Yes, sirree, the Houston Texans. Now, this is where things get a little different because now you're the Houston Texans. The two best players on the board are off. We're in a quarterback class that is, again, sus. So we don't want to go there. Instead, let's go ahead and get some protection for our quarterback, maybe of the future. Maybe Davis Mills is it. I'm just saying. Probably not. But what if? So I want to get more protection. Evan Neal, blue chip prospect. We're going to go ahead and snag him at this spot, given the Texans just another blue chip offensive lineman there with Laramie Tunzel, blue chip offensive tackle. And then the New York Jets. This one, it's always tough, especially now that Evan Neal's off the board. Do we still want to go with the trenches? Because, I mean, there's guys like Karlaftis, there's guys like Ken McWanu, Charles Cross, or we could go with the true best player on the board being, well, yeah, of course, it's Kyle Hamilton. He is the best player on the board, and Marcus May likely not coming back, coming off the franchise tag. Derek Stingley, again, there's a lot of questions we're asking. Is the foot, is it all right? Is it legit? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't go top 5 because of that. So we're going to go with Kyle Hamilton. I know safety, top 5. Oh, no, that's so crazy. That's so ludicrous. Listen, he's really good in a class that doesn't have the value of quarterback, at least early. All right, we got back-to-back picks with the New York Giants. And I kind of tossed, I turned, and I'm not a big fan of nearly doubling up on a position, at least in the top 5, top 6, you know? But, like, at this point, like, the edges on the board would be Karlaftis, Kingsley Enagbare, David Ojabo. Do we go there, or do we stay true to the board? And I think I'm going to stay true to my board, where Derek Stingley, okay, he's there too, but I like what they got going on in the secondary there. Instead, I'm doubling up on the offensive line. First, I'm going to go with the guy that I'm really high on. I don't think he's that high on PFF's draft board. Kem Igwanu. Oh, he's top 10. Okay, that's fair. So I'm going to go with Kem. He's going to be one of our tackles of the future there with Andrew Thomas. And then I'm going to go on the interior with one of my favorite prospects in this class. I know the interior offensive line, especially the center position, it's like this isn't good draft value, but if you're getting a guy that's potentially like Quentin Nelson-esque in terms of what you expect to get from the position, and that's what I'm expecting to get from Tyler Linderbaum once he hits the NFL. So we got our high upside guy in Iquanu, and then we got Linderbaum, who I know and I'm fairly confident it's gonna be a banger of a pick. That's what I think. I'm gonna move my there we go. I'm gonna move this real quick to over here. All right. So now we're back on the clock with the Jets. Do I want to go with the trenches, Charles Cross, or maybe do I address the edge position? No, we got a healthy Carl Lawson coming back next year. I think I'm gonna go with Derek Stingley. Listen, we don't know how the ankle checks out just yet. We won't know till the combine. It's pretty hard to kind of project that. But Derek Stingley still at 7 feels like a steal. All right, Carolina Panthers. Things continue to get difficult for you, boy. Here, I'm gonna move this screen up so you see a lot of who's available, who's on the clock, and we'll go back through the draft at the end as well. But Carolina Panthers, I don't want to go with the quarterback class. It's sus at this point. Maybe we can find some of free agency. I know you don't want to be stuck with PJ Walker, Sam Darnold, Cam Newton for another year, but you also don't want to, reach for a quarterback and set your franchise back for the next 3 or 4 years. Let's go ahead. Let's address the offensive line. Let's iron out some of the wrinkles in it being, every other position that's not Taylor Moton. So I'm going to go with Charles Cross there to be my left tackle. Now, this is where things will get interested in this mock, because I've been saying, and I still believe it, that they have to go edge. Fortunately enough, it's a very strong edge class. We could probably address that early second round. But man, this offense, it is, without Calvin Ridley, you can't really rely on Kyle Pitts just to be your top target. You need to add more around him, especially again with Calvin Ridley. Everything's kind of up in the air. So I'm gonna experiment because I'm really high on a couple of the receivers in this class. Top 10 feels like it's stretching it, but they're top 15 for me. But I'm going to go ahead with Garrett Wilson. He's my top receiver right now. Got a guy that's kind of close on his, close behind him. And actually another guy that I just think is a physical freak. And if you're familiar with the channel, you probably already know who I'm talking about. Now we got back-to-back picks with the Philadelphia Eagles here. So what are we going to do here? I'm going to scroll back up so you at least see what a few of the picks I've already got. Back-to-back picks. We could go receiver, Jameson Williams. I gotta quit saying Jameson Williams. A little bit more of what you have already. I don't mind getting younger on defense. Let's just go ahead grab some of the top guys on my board defensively. George Karlaftis. He feels like an Eagle. He just feels like a Philadelphia Eagle. And then I'm going to go with my top corner because we got Steven Nelson. He's going to be a free agent. So I'm going to grab Ahmad Gardner. He's my top corner right after Stanley currently. Big fan. So we went Karlaftis. We went Gardner. Lost in the sauce, baby. So now that our next pick is here at 21, we got some time. Minnesota Vikings, again, the future of Danielle Hunter. It's kind of like up in the air. And outside of that, I don't think they have much pass rush, at least on the outside. A lot of people really like DJ Wonnum. I think he's more of a rotation guy. And if anything, like Hunter, if he is gone, we got to get a guy next to Wonnum. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take David Ojabo, who is an athletic specimen who might take maybe a year or two to really, really cement himself as a high-tier pass rusher in the league. But we'll see, man. Big fan of his game. And then we got the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to be making this pick forever for New Orleans. Just makes too much sense. We're going to go with Jameson Williams. They get a true burner, a guy that just how he moves is so different, especially and it's not just he's getting these 60-yard bombs. He has like 7 of them, by the way, this season, 60 plus. But The dude does. He has a little. He's got the shimmy. He's got some after the catch ability. So good move here by the Saints. We got the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm going to stick with the wide receiver position. Currently, Derek Carr, he has Hunter Renfro. He has got Darren Waller. We need to improve upon that. I want to get a guy that he's really good after the catch, but also a guy that could be this vertical threat, scary vertical threat. You may be like, oh, Derek Carr, man, he doesn't nearly take enough risks downfield. But again, still getting a guy that can really attack the intermediate and the short because he could do a lot after the catch. Physically, he's just going to be tough to guard. I'm going with receiver right here, Treylon Burks. This is a bit higher than where I have him, but again, depending on how he tests out, if he even sniffs anywhere close to like Chase Claypool or DK Metcalf, he's gonna go way higher, man. And then here it is. Are we gonna get a quarterback finally off the board? Well, every Pittsburgh fan's telling me they don't want a rookie quarterback. That's what Mike Tomlin's saying. I'm not saying that's what he's saying. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. So maybe we don't go quarterback. Maybe quarterback isn't coming off the board here at 15 just yet. So what are we going to do? I wouldn't mind grabbing some help in the secondary there. I mean, you could go with one of the linebackers because they're not they didn't go with the fifth-year option on Devin Bush. No surprise. But I'm going to go with the offensive line, and I'm going to go with the cat that I think could play tackle. He could play guard. Apparently, he could play center as well. I'm going to go with Kenyon Green, man. I think this guy is a tackle in the NFL. I think he can play really well in space, and he's kind of he really fits the style of where this offensive line has been headed after the last couple of drafts. Denver Broncos, this is where we're going to see our first quarterback on the board. I know you want it, Denver fans, so let's go ahead and do it. You might be like, all right, Kenny Pickett, let's go. Now I'm going Matt Corral, man. I want to get a guy that this guy has a ton of arm talent, can put it on the money, and he's going to be backed by a wonderful running game as he gets more comfortable with going through progressions and reads. I like this pick here for with Matt Corral, a guy that I think has a bit more upside than Kenny Pickett. And then we got the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm telling y'all need another corner next to Awuzie. We're going to get one here, and we're going to get one that fits the scheme most. That's Trent McDuffie. He's been utter shutdown for Washington. He really fits the coverage scheme for Cincinnati there. We're going with him there. And oh my gosh, dude, these linebackers are just falling, man. That's just, I think, where linebacker value's at. I know, I mean, even look at a Micah Parsons, a guy that kind of fell to like, what, 10 or 11? And he was a physical freak. But I think this is where we see it. And we know Cleveland defensively, man, this is a team that wants a lot of speed on that back seven, man. They did it. They got JOK. That's great, man. Let's get someone that can be that up of the middle. Nakobe Dean, man. I think this is a good pick, especially with a lot of the wide receivers like flying off the board. We could go edge here. Kingsley Nagbari would be a consideration for me. I'm a big fan of his game. Washington football team. Yo, your boy Taylor Heineke didn't have the best outing today against Dallas. Well, yesterday. I'm recording this Sunday night. Kyle Allen ain't going to do it. So let's go ahead and get Kenny Pickett. He is, I think, one of the most, him and Sam Howell are the most pro-ready quarterbacks in this class. We're going to go ahead and get a quarterback we can move on. I think safety would be the next need, but this feels a bit too early for the next safeties on the board, whether you have Jaquan Brisker or Jordan Battle, Daxton Hill. It just feels too early for those guys. And I mean, I just mentioned three guys that are kind of like, okay, well, who is the next safety off the board? It's going to be different for everybody. So I'm just going to go ahead and get Pickett. A more high-value position. The Buffalo Bills, I feel like this one's kind of easy because I like this range. This is when I start to think about Jordan Davis. Y'all need a big, meaty run stuffer who has a little bit, potentially a little bit of pass rushing upside. So we're going to go ahead and grab him here for the Buffalo Bills. So, Eagles, we grabbed corner, we grabbed edge. Let's get y'all a linebacker. I know y'all, we don't get linebacker highly. We don't value the position. Well, you got 3 picks in the first round. I think we could throw one of them at the position. Devin Lloyd, he has been amazing. I think he's a really good scheme fit for the defense there. He can play a lot of zone. He's got great wingspan. He's got really good short area quickness. Gets out to the flats quick. He's a guy that can blitz very effectively. So there you go, man. We hit up all levels of the defense. Miami Dolphins, listen, this one was tough. I got people telling me, hey, they need to go offensive line. I'm done getting younger on the offensive line. I'm tired of the inexperience. Why do you think they're having to run such a RPO heavy offense there with Tua? Because he has to get the ball out quick because his offense gives him no time. Let's get some vets in there to improve that. Unless this is a blue chip talent, this is like Linderbaum, Evan Neal, Kemekwane, Charles Cross. I want no part of it. So the only other position I think we could like really address here, I think, is wide receiver. I want to get someone that can be really good after the catch, especially if we're going to have the same struggles along the offensive line, have to get the ball out quick. Let's get a guy who is very good after the catch. Let's get a guy with really good size, really good at the contested catch point. We're going to go with my boy. I love him. One of my favorite guys in the draft, Drake London. And I just think, like, Chris Olave, I'll probably have higher. But Drake London, I just think is a better fit for the Dolphins right now. That's probably more of the receiver they're looking for. I've really been kind of pigeonholing Jordan Davis to the Chargers. Now he's off the board. What are we going to do with that? We could go corner. I mean, there's a variety of very good corners still left on the board here. Luckily, it's a really good cornerback class, so we can maybe address that later. You could say the same thing about edge, but I want to get a guy that could potentially be a replacement for Jerry Tillery. And DeMarvin Leal being available here is just... it's a beautiful pick. It's beautiful. Detroit Lions back on the board. We still got Chris Olave. We were a vertical team, vertical passing team. Let's get a guy with true burners. Chris Olave is that guy. So we got KT, we got Chris Olave. Baltimore Ravens, they're so beat up at so many different positions. The team's going to look radically different next year because it's going to be a way more healthy team. But still, I think let's add more talent to the cornerback room. Let's add more depth. This is a team that really loves bringing in 3 safety sets. I thought about Daxton Hill here, but I went ahead with Roger McCreary, a guy that, especially when the Ravens, when they go cover 1, cover 0, they need these guys that can play really good press man defense. That's Roger McCreary. And then the Cowboys, I think they need an upgrade from Anthony Brown. That's just me. I think, why not go with a guy that's probably going to fly up boards just because he's going to be really good with the off-draft season process. He got hot at the end of the year. You like to see that. He's going to be right up there in terms of athleticism. With Stingley, just doesn't really have the size and the length. To Stingley, who's an elite prospect, by the way. So I'm taking Andrew Booth. All right, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. People like getting a receiver for him. That ain't me. That ain't it. My boy Kingsley Enagbare, he's on the board. He fits Spag's hole. I love these big, violent, athletic pass rushers. And while Kingsley Enagbare, he's not on like in terms of athleticism to some of the other edges in this class, he's not a bad athlete by any means. The dude is very skilled, very physical. He's added a lot of pass rushing moves to his repertoire. Let's get some pass rush there. And you might be like, hey, our pass rushes looked good. Hey, Frank Clark, yeah, he goes through these stretches. You really going to trust that? Melvin Ingram, you're going to have to bring him back. He's only on a 1-year deal, and he's kind of a vet. So you don't know if he is going to be this starting caliber player, if he's more of a rotation guy at this point of his career. Good pickup, though, by the Chiefs. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go Kingsley Enagbare because I think it's just ludicrous value at this point. As we've seen the edge and the cornerback positions kind of fall down to this later first round. So now there's an abundance of talent here. Speaking of abundance of talent, Packers receivers are off the board. Jahan Dotson. I like Jahan Dotson. I like him better in the second round, and I think he's not what I'm looking for. If we're gonna have to replace Devontae Adams, that's not the type and style of receiver I'm looking for. So what? Maybe we can go corner. Nah, you don't need to go corner. Y'all are fine. Y'all, bring back Rasul Douglas, dude. That's great depth. You have healthy Alexander and Stokes next year, so I like that. I like that. For now, in a deep cornerback class, let's address it later on. You could go offensive line. I don't really like any of the tackles or interior players at this point of the draft. I mean, you could talk about Bernhard Raymond. You could talk about Trevor Pennon, but those guys I think are going to need big senior bowls. I don't think they're first round caliber just yet. However, I think they're going to lose the Smith brothers. I think Preston and Zadarius, they're gone. I want to get a guy that can kick inside similar to what Zadarius used to do. I mean, they've done it a couple of times with Preston, but that's not really what he does. So I want to get a guy that can kick inside, but that also can attack from the outside. Yes, he's a bit raw just because he really hasn't seen the field a ton, but he's a guy with tremendous upside. We're going to go with... Where you at? Trayvon Walker, baby. Sorry, Arizona fans. I know I've projected him to you the last 2 mock drafts. Not this week, baby. Not this week. Tennessee Titans. I wouldn't mind Brisker here. Or not Brisker, but Dotson makes a ton of sense here. I think he makes a ton of sense. But... man, Ryan Tannehill, just since Derrick Henry's been gone, just hasn't looked good. I don't know if he's really the future. I'm not saying y'all are 9-4 by some miracle. I don't know how. The team's been beat up, granted. So, but I'm gonna go with a quarterback. I'm gonna go a guy with, since Ryan Tannehill's got what, 2 more years? I think 2 more years left on his contract, right? I'm gonna go with a guy we can probably build up, wait a year on. I'm going to go with, where you at? Malik Willis, because I really liked that in my last draft. And here, he's available. The quarterbacks, they kind of slid a little bit. As we saw, like, only 2 quarterbacks went in the top 20, right? Yeah, technically top 19, but it is what it is. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I just want more cornerback depth. Carlton Davis, he's going to be a free agent. I don't know, if not this year, then the following year. I'm not positive on that. Well, Kyrie Elam, he's wonderful value here. He can go a lot higher, but he did have kind of a rough season by his standard this year. So he may slip if guys like Booth just balls out. Like McCreary had a wild season, very good year. So yeah, he just kind of like falls just because cornerback class is pretty deep. But I think, I honestly think that guys like McCreary, we got Booth, we got Stanley, we got Sauce. Am I missing anybody? Trent McDuffie, all those guys. So that's what? Stanley, Sauce, McDuffie, McCreary, Booth. I think all 5 of those guys, first round talents. Kyrie Elam, you throw them in there. I think those, at least 5 of those 6 guys are probably going to the first round. 1 may slip. Always that chance. Good players fall in the draft. Let's go with, New England Patriots. Well, the receivers are off the board. I don't want to take my next corner here. This just feels a bit too early. If I'm New England, I'm trading back. If New England's New England, they're trading back. That's just what they do. So other places we could maybe address. I want to go with pass rush because Matt Judon's been by far the best pass rusher. I think the next guy that's in pressures is Christian Barmore, an interior guy. Let's get a guy that can rush from the outside. And I'm gonna go with who's my boy? There he is. Arnold Ebiketie, who's just been downright special this year. Special. Arizona Cardinals. No corner really to take here. I think I'm going to stick. I'm going to stick with edge. Unfortunately, it's not a guy that can really kick to the inside. I'm going to go with Drake Jackson. I got Drake Jackson actually higher than Ebiketie currently, I believe. And he really just... He's this guy you're going to throw at like 5, like probably like 7 tech, 9 tech. That is just going to... He's got the length. He's got the athleticism. Great movement skills. He's going to bend the edge consistently. We saw that he filled up the tank this season, and we saw more consistency from him. I liked that. So if they do, maybe if Chandler Jones does leave in free agency, this is his replacement. So let's go ahead and look at how we did. Again, I kind of like played with the idea of maybe receivers go a bit higher than people expect. And again, I just want to give y'all maybe a different perspective, a different view on how the draft may happen. Like, I don't know if, honestly, if I would do this with the Giants and go doubling up here on the offensive line, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it because I love the upside of Icky, and I love Tyler Linderbaum. Jets, instead of going ceiling with our first pick, he was still there, so we grabbed him there. No quarterback for the Panthers. Let me know what y'all think about that. Instead, I got some protection for a quarterback of the future, so TBD. Again, Garrett Wilson, if I'm the Falcons, I think I'm still going pass rush. But really, man, with Calvin Ridley's future in the air, there are no playmakers not named Kyle Pitts. Like, I think Mike Davis today was like the 3rd most targeted pass catcher. So, yeah, I went with Garrett Wilson there. Edge could be a very big consideration. Corner as well for the Vikings. But going with Ajabo, I think it's just a very similar prospect to even when Hunter, when he came out. Because he was a guy that really didn't produce a ton in college. And it was like a very small sample size. But it was like he was just an athletic freak with the length. So, very similar prospect. Or at least similar journey in that regard. Burks, I don't know how Raiders fans are going to feel about that. But I like it. Steelers fans, let me know, man. Y'all may want a quarterback. But every Steeler fan that comments, man, is like, man, we're probably not drafting a quarterback. They don't want a rookie quarterback in Pittsburgh. And then the linebackers went a lot further down than I expected. Like, especially Nakobe Dean. I don't know, man. Like, I was actually considering Dean for the Broncos. Dean or Lloyd. I was kind of cool with either. Like, that was a real consideration instead of going quarterback. Dolphins fans, I don't get Dolphins fans. I don't get y'all, man. Y'all keep telling me, you must not be a real fan. We need offensive line. Keep getting younger. Keep getting more experience. Keep getting Tua murdered. That's my take on it. Let's see. Kind of interested, especially with some of these last few picks. Tennessee Titans, Titan fans, I'm not giving up on Ryan Tannehill. Listen, I'm just playing with the idea that y'all may go quarterback. In a quarterback class that's not the quarterback classes of the last 2 years. Let's see some of these, like, some of the top quarterbacks in this class fall. Because keep in mind, man, Malik Willis was like, for some people, he was #1 coming to the season. For some people, he was easily a top 3 quarterback coming to the season. And to see him fall here at 29, that's kind of wild, you know, if you're not thinking about this from like 3 months ago. But the guy's upside's immense. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead and do that YouTube thing. As always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.